Hi everyone, welcome back to Must Read Monday. My name is Dabney. I'm the young adult librarian with the Twin Lakes Libraries and I use they, them pronouns. For today's episode, I'm going to be sharing some books with you all that are written by authors with Chinese heritage, and this is to especially celebrate the upcoming Chinese Lunar New Year, which is February 1st. We're going to be doing some programs to celebrate the occasion here at the library, and we also have a crafting program Wednesday where I'll be walking you through some crafts for the Chinese Lunar New Year. So to get started, there's lots of books out there by authors with Chinese heritage, but I just selected some that I've read and really enjoyed. So first up we have Dragon Hoops by Luen and he's written lots of graphic novels. He's really well known. We have more in our collection. He's probably most known for in like young adult circles for writing American-born Chinese. So definitely come by our library and check out some of his books. Everything I've read by him is amazing. So this one is actually, I'll just read you the jacket summary. Okay, so it says, Luen understands stories, comic book stories in particular, big action, bigger thrills, and the hero always wins. But Jean doesn't get sports. As a kid, his friends called him Stick, and every basketball game he played ended in pain. He lost interest in basketball long ago, but at the high school where he now teaches, it's all anyone can talk about. The men's varsity team, the Dragons, is having a phenomenal season. It's been decades in the making. Each victory brings them closer to their ultimate goal, the California State Championship. Once Jean meets these young all-stars, he realizes that their story is just as thrilling as anything he's seen on a comic book page. He knows he has to follow this epic to its end. What he doesn't know yet is that this season is not only going to change the Dragons' lives, but his own life as well. So, like Jean, I'm not really a basketball person. I'm not a football person either. Sports is not really my jam unless it's like a sports anime. But I love this so much, and I really want everyone to read it. I think I've talked about it before. It's just such an engaging story about these high school basketball players and kind of like, the school overall, and it's just really, really good. It's like really thick, but it's a quick read, and they also get into like some of the history of basketball, as well as kind of more about Jean's life and like his early years. So very, very good. Okay. Next up, I have Iron Widow by Xiran Jay Zhao. Hoping I did that right, said the name right. So this is a book that's been getting a lot of buzz. It's probably not like anything else you've ever read, and it's the first book of a series, so really, really enjoy this one. And essentially in this one, I'll just read you the jacket summary again. And I'm sorry if I get some of these words wrong. In Huaxia, the highest honor for a young girl is to be selected as a concubine pilot. Supporters paired up with male pilots to power up Chrysalis, the giant transforming mechas that humanity relies on to battle the massive aliens that lurk beyond the Great Wall. But the honor often ends in death, and when 18-year-old Zetian's sister is killed by an ace male pilot, Zetian signs up to avenge her. The vengeance is swift, brutal, and unexpected, leaving Zetian labeled as an Iron Widow, a much-feared kind of female pilot who can sacrifice boys to power up Chrysalis instead of the other way around. To tame her unnerving yet invaluable mental strength, she is paired up with Li Shimin, the strongest and most controversial male pilot in Huaxia. But now that Zetian has a taste of power, she will not cower so easily. She will miss no opportunity to leverage her and Shim's combined might and infamy and survive attempt after attempt on her life until she can figure out exactly why the pilot system relies so heavily on destroying girls' lives and dismantle it for good. So, yeah, lots of action, lots of drama. It's very, very compelling. The characters are all like super strong, interesting, and you could just really rooting for them. And yeah, I think it's amazing, and definitely check it out. All right, then we have Warcross by Marie Lu. So Marie Lu has written a lot of young adult books, and we have a lot of her books in our collection, like the Legend series. I can see it in my brain. I think, the Young Elite series. So this is another one. This is like a duology. For millions who log in every day, Warcross isn't just a game, it's a way of life. The obsession started 10 years ago, and its fan base now spans the globe, some eager to escape from reality and others hoping to make a profit. Struggling to make ends meet, teenage hacker Amika Chen works as a bounty hunter, tracking down Warcross players who bet on the game illegally. But the bounty hunting world is a competitive one, and survival has not been easy. To make some quick cash, Amika takes a risk and hacks into the opening game of the International Warcross Championship, only to accidentally glitch herself into the action and become an overnight sensation. She's convinced she's going to be arrested. Amika is shocked when instead she gets a call from the game's creator, the elusive young billionaire Hideo Tanaka, and with an irresistible offer. He needs a spy on the inside of this year's tournament in order to uncover a security problem, and he wants Amika for the job. With no time to lose, Amika is whisked off to Tokyo and thrust into a world of fame and fortune that she's only dreamed of. But soon her investigation uncovers a sinister plot with major consequences for the entire Warcross empire. So it's been a minute since I've read this, but I did really enjoy it. And yeah, I'm looking forward to finishing it and getting on to reading some more of her series. And by the way, I'll also put in the notes if these books are also available on like Hoopla or Libby. But it's definitely like a very thrilling story, especially like, if you're into gaming at all. Okay, then Under a Painted Sky by Stacey Lee. Stacey Lee is another author who we have a lot of her books in our collection, and she does a lot of historical fiction, which is really cool. And this one is like set in the Old West. So all Samantha wanted was to move back to New York and pursue her music, which was difficult enough for a Chinese girl in Missouri in 1849. Then her fate takes a turn for the worse after a tragic accident leaves her with nothing and she breaks the law in self-defense. With the help from Anna May, a runaway slave she meets at the scene of her crime, the two flee town for the unknown frontier. But life on the Oregon Trail is unsafe for two girls. Disguised as Sammy and Andy, two boys heading for the California gold rush, each searches for a link to her past and struggles to avoid any unwanted attention. Until they merge paths with a band of cowboys turned allies, and Samantha can't stop herself from falling for one. But the law is closing in on them, and new setbacks come each day. The girls will quickly learn there are not many places one can hide on the open trail. So yeah, I love this one a lot. I just always kind of love stories about girls who are kind of like on the run and they have to disguise themselves as boys, and kind of like all of the complications that comes with that, as well as like, then they're meeting new people and they're having to introduce themselves like, oh, I'm a boy, and and then kind of like they want to get closer to people for real, but they're under this other identity. And yeah, so this was really great, especially if you're kind of into like historical Old West stories. And I like that, I feel like a lot of stories we're told about the West are not very like diverse and reflecting like all of the people who lived in the West during that time, and this one definitely does, so check it out. Okay, got a couple more. Not Your Sidekick by Stacey Lee. This is, I believe it's called the Sidekick series, so I think there are 4 books. I could be wrong, but it's one that I've really enjoyed and I think I've talked about before. So, welcome to Andover, where superpowers are common but internships are complicated. Just ask high school nobody Jessica Tran. Despite her heroic lineage, Jess is resigned to a life without superpowers, and is merely looking to beef up her college applications when she stumbles upon the perfect paid internship. Only it turns out to be for the town's most heinous? I've heard both. Supervillain. On the upside, she gets to work with her longtime secret crush Abby, whom Jess thinks may have a secret of her own. Then there's the budding attraction to her fellow intern, the mysterious M, who never seems to be in the same place as Abby. But what starts as a fun way to spite her superhero parents takes a sudden and dangerous turn when she uncovers a plot larger than heroes and villains altogether. So, this is super fun series, and each book follows a different character, so I really recommend it if you're into like superhero stories. They're just really fun. And last of all, we have Zeroboxer by Fonda Lee, and I have been meaning to read more of Fonda Lee's books ever since I read this one, so adding that higher up my to-read list, the ever-growing to-read list. So, this is a sticker on the back, so hopefully we can, actually, I'm just going to look it up and read what it says online, because, okay. Sorry. 1 second. In the meantime, look at this cool cover. Okay. Yay! A rising star in the weightless combat sport of zeroboxing, Carr the Raptor Luca dreams of winning the championship title. Recognizing his talent, the Zero Gravity Fighting Association assigns Risha, an ambitious and beautiful Martian colonist, to be his brand helm, a personal marketing strategist. It isn't long before she's made Carr into a popular celebrity and stolen his heart along the way. As his fame grows, Carr becomes an inspirational hero on Earth, a once great planet that's fallen into the shadow of its more prosperous colonies. But when Carr discovers a far-reaching criminal scheme, he becomes the keeper of a devastating secret. Not only will his choices place everything he cares about in jeopardy, but they may also spill the violence from the sports arena into the solar system. Okay, so those are my book selections, and hopefully you will check them out. I also have a list that's available on Goodreads and in the Young Adult Room with Asian American and Pacific Islander authors. So if you want to read more, check out that list. But yeah, if you can, come join us for some Chinese New Year crafts and programs at the library, and tune in Wednesday for our special craft program. And that's all. I'll see y'all later. Bye.